Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.com. Thank you for joining me again today for another card making tutorial, and we're still doing some really nice simple cards, quick and easy things, a bit of an excursion from Christmas, just revisiting a favourite of mine from the annual catalogue called In Bloom. It's a really nice little floral set with some cute sentiments. Okay, we're teaming that with my favourite dies in the whole world, or at least in the catalogue anyway. That's the Stitch So Sweetly dies, and we are also using the Create with Friends sentiments there. Okay, so loads of combinations we can use on there to create a sentiment to fit the project that we're making. So like I say, we're keeping it all really nice and simple, just a bit of stamping and some layering. Just going to go with a stamped panel on this one. I cut the wrong size panel and it was a bit small, and I had to think about how I was going to use it, so that's why the other panel is in the background. We're going to just change that slightly, and of course change the colours. I like to give you different options. This is Coastal Cabana, Flirty Flamingo and Daffodil Delight, so they're all in the brights. So if you were to purchase all those ink pads in a bundle, you do save some money. And then we've got just Memento Tuxedo Black there for the sentiment. So like I say, we're going to change the colours, so those are all in the brights. So we're going to go to the subtles and use Blushing Bride, So Saffron and Highland Heather for the sample card that we're going to make. Okay, so I'm going to get these open so that we can get this done nice and quickly. So another little thing to show you is that I've already got stamps mounted up, which makes the process quicker. So if you have got multiple blocks, then that's brilliant. Of course, if you don't, you just need to just keep swapping them out. But you can see that those three are all on the same size, so if you've only got one A block, it won't take long just to swap those around. So I've sort of got this medium flower, small flower, and the really teeny tiny flower, and then I've just used this little centre as well. So they're all ready to go. Probably should put them that way around actually. So we go from the largest to the smallest. Got a scrap of basic white there, just big enough for me to cut the largest Stitched So Sweetly rectangle, and that is roughly 4.5 by 3.5, in case you're wondering. So starting with the largest image, remember we like to work in odd numbers, so we're just going to go around the card, and we're sort of basically building a background. I only did 3 on the original, but I'm going to see if we can squeeze in 5. Okay, so we're just sort of randomly stamping. Now, some might say that there's no such thing as random stamping, because our brains automatically want to make patterns when we are doing this kind of thing. That's 3, but that's what we are aiming for. We're not necessarily trying to fill the page either, because we are die cutting it out. Excuse me, frog in my throat there. And then we're going to go in between those here and there of the page as well. Like I say, the aim isn't necessarily to fill the page, we just want something that's going to look nice on our card. Okay, so if you want to like lay dye over the top, it might give you a little bit of an idea of where you might think there might be a gap. Okay, just so that we can get a nice look on here. Might just leave it at that. Take off that excess ink. Okay, so now we're going to go back with the same colour. So all of those will have dried, because this dye ink will dry quite quickly. Cool, I hope I was in shot all the way through that. So we'll start again with the Highland Heather and go over the top. So if you try and re-ink, if you were to do this straight away while the base flower was still wet, the centre wouldn't stand out as much. I'll grab a scrap in a minute and see if we can demonstrate the difference it makes. Okay, and then the yellow. Don't know whether you've noticed, but I'm just sort of rotating that block each time I put the stamp down, just so that those little dots are not in the same orientation all the way around. Okay, so that's that. So I wonder if so if I just grab one of these and try and do this while the ink is wet, it's just not quite as defined. You can see it's there, but it's just nicer when you allow the layer to dry first and then stamp over the top. Okay, it makes it more defined. So that's a little tip there for you with that. Right, we're done with these ink pads, so let's just put those away before we have a calamity. And we can die cut this panel. So now you've got a little bit of you can shift it around, up, down, left, right, see what you like in terms of the portion you want to die cut, a bit like you would with the designer series paper. Okay, so we're essentially just making our own here with the pattern that we want. Okay, so we'll just run that through quickly so that that is ready to stamp on. Okay, there we are. So we will move that out the way, and I'm going to bring in the Stamparatus tool. So this is my this is a stamp positioning tool. So as you can see, I've already got the Your Amazing sentiment mounted on there from the project before, or my sample I should say. Just put my magnet out of the way. So, whoopsie daisy, forgot that was there. So what I want to do is, what I need to do is actually rotate that round, because it's going onto the card in a different orientation. So we will need to reposition this, which means we need to make sure it is clean. And I'm trying to find my cloth. There it is. So I just want to make sure that that is clean. Going to position my sort of topper, if you like, so that it's level across the top there, and then we're going to position our sentiment. So this is only just wide enough for this particular sentiment. Don't mind that it overlaps that stitching slightly, so that's fine. Okay, so we're just laying that over the top there, and then because we've got the tool, we can actually stamp both of those at the same time. Okay, and then we can pick up those stamps onto the window like so. I do have the foam mat underneath because we're using a photopolymer stamp set. So I'll just turn that over a little bit. So the beauty of using a Stamparatus is that you can stamp more than once into the same place. Sorry, the light is reflecting on the magnet a little bit there. So we can ink this up with our memento. We can take it across. We can lift that up. And I've got fluff on there which has come across on my stamping, so just give me 1 second. Must have been some lint on that cloth. So let's just get the chamois on that. Oh yeah, look, see. There we go. Right, so I've got a bit of a crazy paving look on that. So just make sure your stamp is clean before you do this, eh? So now we're going to ink it again. We'll go over it again, and this will intensify that sentiment, you see. I've still got lint on here. That cloth must have had some dust on it or something, because did you get the top of my head there while I was trying to do that scrubbing? Because of course I don't want to move the stamp because it's in the right place. Okay. That's better. So you can stamp this multiple times basically, and you can really make that a really intense black colour if you want. That's if you're using black, of course. Do the same with any of the ink pads you like. So that is the beauty of that. So aside from the little mishap on the background there because of the lint on my stamp that I didn't realise was there, look how bold and nice that sentiment is. Okay, so we can put this to one side now. I'm just going to move that so that it doesn't get all ink on my what do you call it, my foam mat. Okay, and then all we're going to do is mount this onto the card. We could do it flat, or you could do it on dimensionals. For the sake of keeping things simple, let's just do it flat. Okay, and my stamp and seal is just here. So a tip to get something straight, if you haven't got sort of a straight edge to work to, if you line up a ruler, you can then put that up against the ruler and use that to line it up. Okay, so that you get something like that. And then the only thing I am adding to this are some matte black dots. Use my Take Your Pick tool. So this will just emphasise that black sentiment. Really make it pop. And that is it. Really, really simple. 2 colour combos there for you. A Highland Heather, Blushing Bride, So Saffron. This one was Coastal Cabana, Flirty Flamingo and Daffodil Delight. So we've got the subtles and the brights. Loads of colours to choose from. That's your choice. And that was using the Create with Friends with In Bloom stamp sets. Okay, those are both in the annual catalogue, links in the description. Hope you've enjoyed that. Please do like and subscribe. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.